Okay, let me ask you a question. Are you feeling trapped by mortgage rates? Well, the Federal Reserve just lowered interest rates, and this could be the game changer you've been waiting for. With rates already starting to ease, this might be your opportunity to break free and move into your perfect home. But that window may not be open for long. Hey, I'm Tyler. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home, stick around. I'm going to be breaking down how the Fed's recent interest rate cuts, the presidential election, and the 2025 market forecast could shape your real estate plans. We'll cover the impact of mortgage rates, the lock-in effect that's keeping many homeowners on the sidelines, and why the 2025 housing market could offer some big opportunities. Let's dive in. So first up, let's talk about the Federal Reserve and mortgage rates. Now that the Fed has lowered interest rates, there's a real buzz about how this could impact mortgage rates and ultimately your buying and selling power. But what does this really mean for you here in Bemidji? The federal funds rate influences mortgage rates, and while the changes won't lead to an overnight drop, we can expect a gradual decline through 2025. Experts from Fannie Mae, the Mortgage Bankers Association, and others predict continued easing over time, meaning rates could slowly drop even further. For homeowners, this might help alleviate the lock-in effect. You know, the one where you feel stuck in your current home because the mortgage rate you locked in years ago is lower than today's rate? Yeah, that one. Trust me, I know the feeling. I was there with you too. A slight reduction could make selling more appealing again. Right now, about 85.7% of homeowners with mortgages nationally have an interest rate below 6%, with many having locked in rates below 4% or even 3% during the pandemic. That's why so many homeowners are choosing to stay put rather than sell and face higher rates. I recently helped a couple who were hesitant to sell because of the higher rates. But after discussing the equity they'd built and how much they could use towards their new home, they made the leap and couldn't be happier. And do you want to know a secret? That couple was actually my wife and I. On our old house, we had a sweet rate of 3.275%. It was great. But we knew that we wanted a bigger home, and that rate wasn't going to hold us back from securing the perfect place. But that's enough about me, so let's keep moving. Projections show that rates could continue dropping through 2025, but waiting for the perfect time isn't always the best strategy. As Jacob Channel from Lending Tree says, if you're always waiting for the perfect market conditions, you're going to be waiting forever. One myth I hear a lot is that you should wait for rates to drop as low as possible before buying or selling. And the reality is that trying to time the market is nearly impossible. What it really comes down to is about your goals, not just interest rates. If moving makes sense for you, now could be the time. Okay, next up, let's talk about the election. Now, I know that anything to do with politics these days can be a little taboo, and let me be clear, I'm not here to pick sides. But the upcoming presidential election is a real concern for some future home buyers and sellers. You're probably wondering, what does this mean for the housing market? Historically, elections have had a relatively small temporary impact on home sales. Sure, there's usually a slight slowdown leading up to election day, but here's what you need to know. After 9 of the last 11 elections, home sales bounced right back to the following year. So if you're on the fence about selling or buying because of the election, you might not need to be. In fact, after 7 of the last 8 elections, home prices have actually increased the next year. And guess what? Mortgage rates have even trended lower during election cycles, making it a great time to buy. So while the uncertainty of an election might feel intimidating, the data shows that the housing market is still resilient. Look, don't let election worries derail your real estate plans. The trends we're seeing right now, like the gradual easing of mortgage rates through the rest of this year and into 2025, are pointing to opportunity. Whether you're buying or selling, it's important to act based on your goals and the market, not on election year anxiety. Next, let's talk about what's in store for the 2025 housing market. All right, if you're still on the fence, let's take a look at what's coming in 2025. Experts are painting a pretty optimistic picture. Mortgage rates are expected to gradually decline as inflation eases and the economy slows down. This means more potential buyers could finally jump back into the market, and as a result, we'll likely see a steady increase in home sales. According to forecasts from Fannie Mae, the Mortgage Bankers Association, and the National Association of Realtors, we're looking at an estimated 5.4 million home sales in 2025. That's a healthy bump compared to where we've been, and it could help unlock more housing inventory for buyers. But what about home prices? Experts predict that home prices will continue to rise, though at a more moderate pace of around 2.6% on average. So while we're not expecting a sudden surge, the gradual upward trend will continue. This kind of stability could make 2025 an ideal time for both buyers and sellers to act. Whew, okay, so today we broke down a lot, from the interest rates and the elections to what's coming in 2025. The housing market is resilient, and whether you're buying or selling, now's the time to be informed. And when you're ready, let's chat about what's right for you. If you have any questions or just want to talk through your options, feel free to reach out. And if you want to stay in the loop with real estate tips and future updates, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and while you're there, you might as well like the video too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.